Now, if you're a lady watching this video and you have experienced the first two categories of sexual harassment, this video is going to help you gather your evidence. Let's talk about sexual assault, sexual harassment in any form that it comes. According to UNFPA, 3 out of 10 Nigerian women have experienced sexual assault. It's interesting to know that you can actually walk up to a random woman on your street and ask her, have you ever been sexually harassed? And she would say, yeah, probably when I was little, probably in my school, probably by my teacher, probably by guys in my department, all kinds of things. Almost everybody would have one experience or the other to share. Analyzing everything that happened with distinguished Senator Natasha, I thought to myself, what could have been done better? A lot of people are coming on the internet to say, where is your evidence? We need to know what happened. Now, it might be true, and it just happens that there is no evidence to prove it. Or it might be a lie, and she's just making up the whole story. But what if it is true? Let's look at it from this angle. Say this man has been bringing up some sexual innuendos in their private conversations and all of that. How exactly is she supposed to have an evidence of all of that to present to everybody right now who is asking her for evidence? Sexual harassment can actually be categorized into 3 forms. The first form is the verbal harassment. So in this case, maybe you're working in the same organization with this person, or you have to interact with this person on a day-to-day basis, and they keep coming up with this, sexual remarks, sexual innuendos, look at your butt, look at your ass, or commenting basically on your physical features in a way that makes you rather uncomfortable. That is one category of sexual harassment. So in this case, the person has not touched you or done anything. In this case, it's just verbal. The person is sexually harassing you verbally. Now, the second category is where the person begins to make attempts to touch you. Maybe you guys are in a workspace and then they brush your hand, or they tap your butt, or they touch your boobs, or something like that in a way that makes you very, very uncomfortable, and you know that this person is looking for something else. In that case, that is sexual harassment in a physical form. And then the final category is sexual harassment in an abusive and violent form. And in this case, we begin to talk about rape attempts. And these are the 3 categories. The problem with that is that with these first 2 categories, you probably wouldn't have an evidence because these things are happening in passing. It's not like you're going to record when this person says these things to you, or you might even cross your mind to make a video of them when they tap you or brush you when they're passing or something like that. So it puts you in a very tight corner. And oftentimes when you come out with allegations against the person, everybody begins to look like, what's going on? Where's your evidence? And why are you accusing this person falsely? So in the case where there is no evidence, everybody brushes it away as a lie and you making up things. So for instance, you found yourself in a situation where it is a superior and somebody you probably cannot report that is harassing you, and you don't have any evidence because it is verbal harassment. And if you report, it's probably going to deny and say that you should bring your evidence. And the HR is probably going to be like, there's no evidence, so why should we even listen to you? Here's what you're going to do. Begin to document every form of that harassment, and with either a trusted colleague, the HR, or somebody that you know outside of the organization. These conversations have timestamps, and you can actually trace when this thing started, and it's more like you have a witness for when this sexual harassment started, especially if it is verbal. Now, you might decide to document it with more than one person. You might decide to tell maybe 2 to 3 people that you trust very well and are very close to you. I know it's a very uncomfortable conversation to have, but I think that in an era where when you come out with an allegation against somebody that is sexually harassing you verbally, everybody is asking for evidence and you really don't have any evidence, it's very important that you document your experiences so that when it is time, those people that you have shared those experiences with will be able to back you up to be like, hey, when this thing started, this person told me. But again, I think at the end of the day, you basically hope that you have people who will be willing to stand by you against this perpetrator, because that's another case, right? Say, for instance, this man was actually harassing a couple of other people in that office and they're afraid to lose their jobs. They might not be willing to stand by you when all of this is happening. But one thing you can do is to make sure that you document it, have these conversations with people that you believe and trust so well will stand by you when the time comes. I hope this video helps. It might not be much, but I pray that the society becomes a safer place for women, where men do not see women as sexual prey.